welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is
The hills are alive with the sounds of Formula One engines. Welcome everyone to Spielberg, Austria for the 2 SRO Season 8 Tier 1 race, the top race. Currently a top tier of racing. These drivers will be willing to make a name for themselves in the world of sim racing. They're going to do it here at Austria. One of the fastest circuits, a circuit where you can probably get a sub 1 minute time if you were really skilled. Joining us today, we have myself and myself because I am currently solo casting. So you'll have to get ready for my beautiful voice all the way through here. So currently, in terms of terms of flying laps at the moment, we see a couple of people already going for their flying lap, namely the Racing Point of RR, some idiot who, while I last commentated, was very impressive. I think he was also on pole at some point, and I think he also won the race at Britain. Provided that we also have both the Red Bulls, the Renault, and the Ferrari as well. So majority of the tires currently at the moment are on soft. However, if we switch to one of the Red Bulls, say if we switch currently to, if this at all works, I guess not. No, it does not apparently, because the game doesn't want to work with me today. So if we switch to one of the Red Bulls, we can also see that the tires are going mainly for the medium strategy. However, we do see Alex Burbo going on the softs, as I think he has just invalidated his lap at the moment. So Hungary is a very notorious circuit because you can't exactly overtake on here, although we did see that with Daniel Ricciardo at one point, but regardless. Oh, wait, I just said welcome to Spielberg, but in reality, we're Hungary. Whoops. Well, Hungary is a pretty special track, I guess you could say, due to the fact that we had a lot of maiden wins and a lot of just generally good wins. As we have one of the Ferraris, as Timo retires from the session, he must have hit a wall going at quite high speed, so that's going to be a yellow flag in Sector 1 at around turn 5 at the moment. But currently, as it stands, we have some idiot on his flying lap at the moment on the medium compounded tires. What is the time to beat for the Racing Point driver? The man who's on pole in Britain is going to be on pole here with a 1:15.1 on the medium compounded tires here. So as he goes back to the pits, we are on board with Wow in the Renault. So big Wow from him, goes 2 seconds faster on those soft compounded tires. However, the mediums might be the better choice here as tire wear is particularly high and can go on the softs. Saying that, the Pixel in the Mercedes goes a 1:15.0, goes in second place, however only for a second, as Nicholas goes 1.14.6, and the soft compounded tires within the Haas car are some idiots looking to potentially get onto those softs and make it into top 3, as softeners currently are all in top 3. However, those medium tires may benefit, as we see TSRL Terror in the Alpha Tauri. He is currently just behind by RR some idiot by about 5/10 or so. Next we have 2SRO Null in the Mercedes. He's 1:16.3 on the soft compounded tires, and followed by Kopi in the Williams, who is a 1:16.4. Fox rounds up your current qualifying times with a 1:22.5. Really a poor effort from the Red Bull driver, but however will be willing to replicate the I guess you could say the remnants of Daniel Ricciardo's time at Red Bull and take its maiden win here, as Fox does cross the line, and he was fueled up for 2 laps at the moment and goes P6, 1:15.7, so ahead of his teammate currently, Alex Burbo, who has yet to set a lap. I think he was invalidated going fast, and luckily didn't end up like Timo. Timo's teammate though, Triton, in the fellow Ferrari, is also going out of the pits now. As we see Dat Bant, we see Nico, and we see Higgsy all try to make some flying laps. I would rather Higgsy's in the pits, but we do see Nico trying to make a flying lap at the moment. As we see Nico currently going with a 115.6, so just splitting the two Red Bulls, as we have two SRL bands in the McLaren. A very impressive qualifying performance, goes P2, and that separates WoW and bands by about 3 to 4 tenths. So yeah, about 3 tenths, or yeah, 3 tenths. So pretty much at this point, we currently have two Renault Power cars at the moment, I should say, because we obviously know that McLaren is switching its engine supply for next year. Oh, it has a little bit of a spin for two SRL bands. Was taking that corner rather slowly, but does get out of the way from Triton, who is currently on the outlap, so it wouldn't have mattered if he slowed down. However, those soft set of tires would have most likely been worn, and you need every percentage of tire that you're going to get, that tire freshness, as Higgsy in the Racing Point comes out of the pits. And currently, so does Alex Burbo, his teammate, up in P9. Can he do better on these softer compound tires? I think that is the new set of soft tires that he's wearing at the moment. But we shall see. Currently at the time, we have the field being split by about 3 seconds from WoW 125 in the Renault in pole, as Kopi in the Williams, I think, has just invalidated his lap. He's going to go back to the pits on the same set of 3 worn SEF tires. That is not looking good for him, the Williams driver. He's seen to getting a lot of oversteer, as we have one of the Racing Points, that's Higgsy. Moving off to the side, presumably. We don't see any front wing damage from the Racing Point driver. However, I think he'd either have a little bit of a spin or just moved out of the way. Looking at the cams now, no front wing damage, just trying to get as fast as he can with minimal tire wear to the start finish line, where he's going to set up his flying lap, as Triton, so that's Timo's teammate, is currently in the Ferrari at the moment. A little bit of a lockup there into turn 5, but that's okay. A little bit of traffic from the Mercedes of Pixel, I believe that was, but there is a yellow flag, then there's a green flag going through turns 7, 8, and 9, so there's a short amount of corners to make up sector 2, going through turns 10 and 11. Be sure to get a good exit out here. You can invalidate quite easily on the curbs or touch the grass and have your car sent spinning and spinning and spinning away. Going through 12 and 13. A big long sweep like Jensen Button did. A little bit of a lockup, but that's okay. And goes through turns 14. Where is Timo's teammate going to fare out? So Triton going down across the start finish line right now. It's a 114.0, which puts him up into P2 at the moment. So very well done. Timo not having the same amount of luck as his teammate has, but however, he will be looking to make the Scuderia proud within the race, as we currently have Higgsy, who's just gone off in the Racing Point. I think he took that corner at a bit too much speed, and in turn was took that, and I think he just... Oh, it's really unfortunate for the Racing Point driver. But he will have to move back to the pits now and get himself a new set of soft tires, as well as a new front wing. Yeah, that's not looking good. It took that corner a bit too much speed, and then it didn't brake, and yeah, that's really unfortunate from the Racing Point driver. But his teammate currently in P6, he will be looking to do better than that, especially on the faster compound tire. But currently just trying to stay out of everyone's way. We have one of the McLarens at the moment, so that's Tier that Vance who is currently on a lap, or rather his teammate Tipsy Bob. Hopefully he isn't really tipsy behind the wheel. A little bit of a disclaimer: when you drive, you should never drink. That's one of Heineken's famous slogans here in Formula 1. As Higgsy goes back into the pits, changes front wing, we see Tipsy Bob currently on an outlap. Similar, we also see a lot of other individuals trying to go for an outlap right at the moment as well, especially in those low fuel mode kind of things. As the lesser amount of fuel, lesser your car weighs, and the more faster you can really go. At the moment, we're seeing very risky low fuel strategies. However, we will see if that does end up slowing them down, like at the final corner, as we have Alex Burbo, who has not had the luck in the session, as is proceeding to potentially not even have the luck, as skies do look gloomy, so we might see some rain currently ensuing at the moment, but we never know, as we see the potential for intermediate, so we might have to get those tires, those final laps in on the slick set of tires. Kopi on the 3-lap-old mediums could potentially jump up. Since he doesn't really have a teammate, he'll be looking to score points for Williams this race, but he is currently going on a flying lap as we speak. At the moment, Hugo's in the Alfa Romeo along with his teammate Danico. So both the Alfa Romeos currently out on the medium set of tires. Is this to go long here and benefit from the, I guess, carnage of the first step? We will see as we follow Hugo's on the opening lap. Goes into turn 1. A little bit of traffic there from TSRL Noel, but that's alright as we goes into turn 2 and turn 3. Noel is moving out of the way in the Mercedes, so very respectable driving. Goes through turns 4. So turns 3 currently right now, and turns 4. Be sure not to invalidate. A little traffic up ahead from the McLaren, but that's not affecting me at the moment. As we go to turn 5, do not make the same mistake as Higgsy did and take that corner at a bit too much speed. A little bit oversteer, but that's alright. That's alright. Turn 6 and 7, crucial to get a braking point here and carry a lot of speed. If you do get that, then essentially it's going to be very good. Turns 7, 8, and 9. Very fast pace track. Invalidated. Took too much of the curb, and hopefully his teammate Danico is faring a bit better. But however, the Noel is also still in the traffic, so that's really, really unfortunate from Noel. Or rather, that was Pixel was in the traffic, as Noel has gone currently is passing through Sector 3, as we see. One of the racing points, I think that is Higgsy or some idiot trying to get pole back again, moved out of the way, so very respectful driving. Too much on the throttle over there. Big crash for Danico. Yeah, touch the throttle, touch the curb, and send his hopes and dreams of getting a time in. At the moment, I would say, flying away. That's his entire front wing gone, and especially with one of the McLaren thing that's Stat Bance currently pushing in right now, is going to be really interesting. As we think we have a slow Mercedes, and yep, that's Noel. Noel has either spun off or just tried to get out of the way. As we look through the broadcast cameras, we don't see any wing damage at the moment. We might see an M plate go off. No, that's no wing damage. There just must be a bit of a spin. He was on 4-lap-old soft tires, but for how long will they have the soft tires? The bottom 3, or I would say the bottom 4, but I'd say the bottom 3 mainly have you have to potentially get those slick tire laps in at the moment. As we have Hugo's, he's going up into P16. He's currently in P16 without a lap. He's just invalidated his lap, which is really unfortunate. Danico in the pits after a massive crash is trying to get his front wing fixed. Alex Burbo, his teammate, is currently up in 12th. Can he do better on those medium compounded tires? We will wait to find out as he's going through turns 13 at the moment, as Jensen Button likes to have one big sweep and a little conservative on those downshifts there, but he is going through the start finish line. What's it going to be for Alex Burbo? P8. Very well done from the Red Bull driver. For a lot better than his teammate, especially since they're on the same competitive tires. So that means that Fox might be looking to change that, as we have a slow Ferrari. I think that is TSRL Triton. Yeah, he's just moved out of the way. We don't see any wing damage from him, so just a slow Ferrari. But that's really interesting for both the Alfa Romeos at the moment, as they haven't set a lap time. However, skies do look gloomy, as it is with majority of the European tracks, and it's going to be really, really interesting to potentially even see Hugo's and Danico qualify on intermediates. But can they do better? We will find out. The Ferrari currently of Triton, who's in P4, has now switched from the, I guess, medium compounded tires now to the soft compounded tires, or rather a new set of soft tires, as I'm told. So currently we have 3 medium runners. We have Alex Burbo, we have Higgsy, and we have Fox, both Red Bulls and one of the racing points. So tire wear is pretty crucial here at Hungary. However, we'll see what happens in terms of that. We might have a soft to hard strategy, or a medium to soft strategy, or maybe even a medium to hard strategy. We don't know, but there's going to be a lot of high speed, especially with that braking point between turn 6, 7, 8, and 9. So essentially the majority of the part of Sector 2, as both the Alfa Romeos to finally come out of the pits after that front wing change and that tire change. So hopefully they can fare a little bit better. As we can see, Danico trying to get temperature in his tires. The track temperature is quite low at the moment, as you can see from the gloomy skies, but we will see what happens. About 2 minutes left in qualifying. That means one lap, or maybe even two if you're generous, and we will see what happens as Danico does go across the start-finish line, goes through turn one. No traffic to be seen except for a Racing Point who does move out of the way, or just does come out of the pit lane. Takes that corner very nicely. Tries to use all the curb there. A little conservative on the throttle, but that's okay for your tires. Just starting to warm up. We see a couple of yellow flags, but nothing to really worry about, as we see both the McLarens overhead invalidated from Danico. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself about that really, really, really badly. As Hugo's, hopefully his teammate, can also fare a little bit better. He's currently on his outlap, but not a good day for the Alfa Romeos. He might just have to conserve his fuel and go out for another one straight after this. Is that's the only option he has? He can't just run to the pits right now, or if he does, he has to run at full speed, take some corners, validate some corners. But yeah, I think he's just trying to conserve his tires for another run. I think he has fueled up for 2 consecutive runs in a row at the moment. As RR Some Idiot does take pole position in the Racing Point with a 113.2. That's 2/10 quicker than wow. Tisserol that Bance goes sets a new time and takes a 113.995. So, but currently Tisserol Terror is only separated by about 40 milliseconds. So he's going to be trying to improve that time. He's currently on an outlap at the moment, and that's my webcam just fallen. Oopsie doopsie. Regardless. We currently have TSRL Triton, who is in P5. I think he's quite fine with his qualifying session, doesn't really want to risk going out another set of tires. And we also see Tipsy Bob in P5 and P7, both on self-compounded tires, and both currently just retired from the session. We see Nick Odlas in the Haas also trying to make a little bit of his improvement as he's going through turn 13. Doesn't feel like it's an improvement. Goes back in the pits, and that is qualifying over for the majority of people, except for Alex Burbo on the medium compounded tires in the Red Bull. I think he is currently trying to set a qualifying lap. So along with that, Pixel in the Mercedes has invalidated his qualifying lap. Cannot get better than P9. TSRL Knoll crosses the start-finish line at the moment to start his flying lap at the moment. So he's on very worn soft tires, and that's not going to help his case. Higgsy in P11 does not fare a lot better than his teammate. Wow, 125 in the Renault has retaken pole by a 10th and with a 113.1. And Kobe in the Williams car is currently going through turn 13 on the medium compound tires. Hopefully those mediums are faster, even though they're a slower compound. They might be a fresher compound, which might give him an extra couple of cents as he's going through the start finish line at the moment. What's it going to be for him? A P14, a 114.576, which is PA for the Williams drivers. Not bad. Not bad, Williams, in terms of qualifying, but currently at the moment we don't have too many people except for Alex Berber, who hasn't validated his lap. Can't get it better than P9. His teammate down to P14. TSRL Knoll is also most likely not really happy with his lap as he's going through turn 13 at the moment. May he potentially go back into the pits, or is he just going to try go to the start finish line? Yes, he is trying to go to the start finish line at the moment. As we see a couple more retirements from the session. What's it going to be for TSRL? No, only P11. Really unfortunate. He must have had a little of a spin there, but does finish the lap off. And that is qualifying for you in Hungary. So your grid looks like this. Wow125 in the Renault goes in pole position. RS Immediate in the Racing Point goes P2. That Banton McLaren goes P3. Terror in the AlphaTauri goes P4. Triton in the Ferrari goes P5. Nicholas in the Haas goes P6. Tipsy Bob in the McLaren goes P7. Copy in the Williams goes P8. Alex Berber goes P9. Pixel goes P10. Jones' teammate Noel in the Philip Mercedes in P11. Higgsy goes P12. Nico goes P13 in the Renault. Fox goes P14 in the Red Bull. Timo goes 15 in the Ferrari in P15. He goes and Danico in the Alfa Romeo make round up your grid in P16 and P17. And now it's time for the race. currently. Let's see what the weather looks like. And it's looking sunny. So no fear of rain, although we might see that potentially later into the race, where people might have to pit for intermediates. Hungary is also known for being a wet track, and one of a lot of good things happening. So you might see, Daniel Ricciardo's first win. You could remember Sebastian Vettel's big spin at Hungary when he was still teammate with Mark Webber, or no, he was teammates with Daniel Ricciardo. But regardless, Hungary is a very fast-paced track and one that people want to win. And a lot of the overtaking is done through strategy, as we have the formation lap currently at the moment, and we're just setting everything up. Currently, we're looking at lots of tire changes. So we currently have the top 7 on the soft compounded tires, followed by Pixel being the last of the soft runners. A lot of individuals on the medium compounded tires, so Kopi and Alex Burbo, as well as Noel Higsey, Nico, and Timo. We've also got Fox on the hards, as well as Hugo's and Denikos, both the alphas, looking to make it long and looking to um, mainly go into the hard to soft strategy in this aspect. It could be very powerful, but it could be also a little bit of a disaster, as there's a lot of drama, especially going into turn one. We saw Daniel Ricciardo's big spin. I think it was contact with Max Verstappen, and yeah, we will see what happens within the race. Currently, at the moment, all the cars are lining up for a formation lap, as we're currently on board with the leader of 125 in the Renault. He's going to be looking to defend his pole position. But for how long are some idiot looking to get that pole position as he did? And that Bant in the McLaren very much impressing, goes P3. So everyone is trying to warm up their tires at the moment. So we'll see what happens. As we round up turn 13 at the moment, we have the AI take over the control over the cars, and we will see what happens. Drivers are most likely feeling very tense, but yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good race, an enjoyable race to see what happens, and fingers crossed, everyone will be happy with the result. Cars are lining up on the grid at the moment, and the Alfa Romeos have just parked, rounding up your grid. So 17 drivers at Hungary. Let's see what can happen. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. And WoW gets a good start. So does some idiot trying to attack WoW, as well as that Bance also getting a good start. TSRL Terror, though, getting the better of the starts, tries to attack into turn 1. That Bance retains his position, but also loses as WoW does lose the lead to RSM Idiot, but only for a moment, as both the Renault and the Racing Point drivers, so both the R teams are going, but RSM Idiot swoops down the inside, takes the long way out, but WoW still has the inside line, which is really powerful here at Hungary, as he gets pushed down wide. RSM Idiot trying to get back at WoW 25, but WoW is creating a little bit of a gap. So big WoW, no contact within the first lap, so we don't see any spins or broken from wings. Very, very clean from the field here, but we're seeing the main battle between WoW 125 and RR Idiot in both the Breno and the Racing Point. So very, very interesting to see what happens, but looking quite good from both the drivers, keeping it clean, no penalties, no invalidations at the moment, and we're seeing a lot of grid changes at the moment as TSR Triton seriously is still in P5. Terror tried to make a move down the inside of that band. So could we see that potentially again with DRS? This field is so close together. I think everyone's going to get DRS, and we're going to see a lot of drama at the moment. But currently, as it stands, your top 3 are WoW, RSM Idiot, and Dat Bance. And Dat Bance is trying to get some idiot, and some idiot are trying to get WoW. But WoW is going off into the distance as he sets the fastest lap of the session at the moment, and we're seeing the intervals go off. Apparently, our Terror is about a minute and 19 seconds away, but yeah. Currently, the field looks very, very close as we see a bit of overtaking from Timo and Nico. So they were quite high up within the position. As you know, Timo did not actually set a qualifying lap, but Nico was quite high up in, I think, P11, P12, but he has fallen back to the back of the grid, but is looking to potentially make up those positions. But how long was that going to last, especially on those medium tires? Is trying to make up a position down on Timo, so both the Ferrari and the Renault, we haven't seen a battle like this since Schumacher and Alonso. But currently, at the moment, we're looking at Danico on Hugo. So both the Alfa Romeos have made up positions and are actually attacking the Mercedes at the moment of Noel, who has just gone wide currently into that corner. And currently, we're looking at Fox, who is behind Alex Burbo. Alex Burbo being the last points playing position at the moment. And trying to attack a Pixel. Pixel gets a big lockup, but is trying to attack on Kopi in the Williams in the P8. So a big midfield battle, but WoW does go about a second faster and does get the fastest lap of the session and is currently running away with this race. But for how much longer? As some idiot does get DRS, as this DRS is open currently on lap 3 of 35. It's been such a dramatic first couple of 3 laps, and it's just gone by so quickly, as it should in Formula 1. Approaching the first DRS zone right here at the moment. Is DRS activated for these drivers? Yes, it is, but for how much longer? As we're going through sector 1 and now sector 2 turns 2 through turns 5 and 6, and now going through sector 2 at turns 7 and 8. We're going to see how pit strategy really works out, as the field is so close to each other. If you pit now, you're going to be dead last. We might see potentially even the Alfa Romeos be a huge advantage, as currently they're in P12 and P13, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and that is a slow Mercedes, as the Mercedes has gone into the wall. That's 2SRL Noel. He was running in P11 and is now in the wall, as that is his front wing chipped away, and is going to have to box, because Hungary, much like many other tracks, is essential for a front wing. There are so many wide turns that you need that downforce with, but that's really unfortunate from the Mercedes driver. His teammate though, Pixel, is faring a lot better in P9 at the moment, as currently lap 4 out of 35, and we see RS getting DRS on WoW, but is it going to be enough to make a move? No, it is not, unfortunately. Big lockup from RS Idiots in the racing point, but we don't see anything transpire within this aspect, as we see that Bant and Terra going wheel to wheel, both the McLaren and the AlphaTauri, much like the Monza at this year, but that Bant does get to the inside line and holds P3 at the moment. Sector 1 yellow flag, and that's one of the racing points, and that's Higgsy. Higgsy is off the track. He must have spun, and that gives Nico a place as Higgsy in the racing point at the moment. Really not faring very well. Very, very, very unfortunate from Higgsy, but his teammate, RS Idiot, faring a lot better than is to be expected, as we have WoW 125 trying to maintain the lead of this race, approaching a DR zone here, but RSM Idiot is pretty close to WoW. So we'll see what happens, as Nico gets a 3-second time penalty, and I think we saw that WoW gets a 5-second time penalty as well. So if RSM Idiot can keep within 5 seconds of him, that will be probably a guaranteed race win for RSM Idiot, but that is provided he can keep within 5 seconds of him, as RSM Idiot does get DRS between WoW 125 and a little bit of a lockup for WoW 125, as there is another sector flag, and that's the Williams. That is the Williams of Kopi. That's a yellow flag for the Williams. And do we see any wing damage? No, we do not. We're seeing a lot of yellow flags in Sector 1 at the moment, but we shall mainly see what happens within that aspect. It's also another yellow flag, and that's Alex Burbo in the Red Bull. Is that wing damage for the Red Bull? Yes, no, it is not, but that is potentially some very, very hot tires, and you really don't want hot tires, as hot tires, especially the front left, can smoke up here in Hungary. But that's really unfortunate from the Red Bull driver. His teammate Fox, though, only about 3 positions ahead of him in P12 on the hard compounded tires. We're getting a lot of penalties, especially Fox now, who are currently on board with, has just gotten penalty for those curbs, and the curbs are the main death of everyone here, as we see a lot of individuals touching those curves, but are some idiot very, very close to Wow. Could we potentially see an overtake right now? A little bit of a dive bomb. Wow, he gets a good exit. A wowing, as you should say. But RR some idiot does not choose to go down that, and Wow does get quite a bit of lockup, so his tires are going to most likely wear a lot faster than you usually would, as we see a lot of a battle with Dat Band, Triton, and Terror. So we're seeing quite a lot of people. The three T names, or three main T names within this race, are currently battling down into Sector 1, as we see a little bit of step of oversteer from Dat Band in the McLaren, who's just trying to defend his final podium, the final podium position from Terror in the Alpha Tower, who was a very, very hungry one. We see a little bit of, we saw a lot of moves making, especially on the first lap, but currently, as it stands, we are looking at the leaders, who are Wow and are some idiots in currently in P2 and P3. A lot of lockups from the both of them, trying to break as late as possible, and luckily the car is saving it, not sending them into the spin. Wow, defending it brilliantly and getting good exits, especially here on Sector 1, being the only couple of DRS zones within this, as RSM idiot is getting closer. He's reading it, he's reading it, he's reading it. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. And Wow does lock up, and it means some idiot does get quite a good exit, and a lot closer to him. But Wow is going to go defend down the inside, and RSM idiot is going to go down the outside, trying to take the long way around. But however, it is not going to work for him, as we see Wow defending that position very well, and are some idiots trying to make a move down the inside. We could see a natural set of speed here, potentially, as we have TSRL Terror, who has taken Dat Bance's place from P3 and has now put the AlphaTauri on the podium. So Dat Bance will want to get that position back, but it's also good to defend from Triton in the Ferraris. And McLaren versus the Ferrari, we haven't seen a battle like this since forever at this point. But currently, Wow is trying to defend his position into P1, but but some idiot in the Racing Point is going to have to really work for that and try to get a very, very good exit, as we're currently on lap 7 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Very good driving from the Alfa Romeo drivers. And as we see, Wow, I think his tires are quite worn. Sector 2, yellow flag at the moment. I think someone has gone off, and it's one of the Renaults, or is a slow car. I think that was just one of the Renaults who just went off, as we have Wow currently in for the first pit stop of his race, goes from the soft to the hard tires, so he's going to be going until the end of the race, especially with those lockups. And RR some idiot does take first place within this race and is trying to potentially even go for the overcut here, but as we see RR some idiot falling down the order. Actually, we see Wow falling down the order, and that's Fox. That's Fox in the Red Bull. He's just gone off, and so has one of that's TSRL Noel. So was that collision related? No, it was not. But Fox has gone off, and that's his race over. His teammate is the one remaining Red Bull, and it's a sector. That's a yellow flag in Sector 3. It was down the main straight. So was that a very poor exit? Or was that just a mechanical issue that he had to retire in the box? We don't know. But the car is picked up from safety marshals, and that is green currently at the moment. So that's very unfortunate for Fox. He was looking dead set to get a points playing position, but as it stands, we currently have a lot of cars spinning off, mainly due to the higher tire temperatures, as we have Dat Bance taking back the lead from Terra, but Terra is currently in P2, being promoted from P3, as Dat Bance in P3 currently pits, and we see the second pit stop, as well as Triton in the Ferrari. So the McLaren and the Ferrari have both pitted. What's it going to be for them? Is it going to be the hard compound tires? Yes, it is. If people are feeling risky, they may go for the medium, but they're currently going on for the hard compound of tires. So very, very well done. Perfectly executed pit stops. The current two leaders are on the soft compound tires, but for how much longer is the main question. We've got Nico actually trying to get his tires changed as fast as possible. A little bit too fast potentially, as he's going from the mediums to the soft, from the mediums to the hard compounded tires. So pretty interesting choice. He stayed as long as out as the soft compounded tires, but I think the tires were just so warm at that point that he just had to potentially change them, as we have RR some idiot trying to make the overcut work, is currently in P1 in the race. Sorry, from P2 is currently in P1 and trying to potentially even get the overcut within the pit stop. But there's a little bit of a gap to Wow at the moment, about a 5 or 6 second gap to the pit stop. Does he come into the pits? No, he does not. He tries to stay out for a long period of time as Terror, also on the soft compound tires, does choose to come out of the pits, and that means Arsene Idiot is the last of the soft runners within this race. Potentially, not even the last, but for a while, as we may see the hard compounded tires switch to the soft compounded tires over the hard starters, that being both the Alfa Romeos. Danico is currently in P2 at the moment, and is, along with his team in P3. So the hard compounded tires was the right strategy to call. However, when will they pit for the softs? We don't know. But a very, very good outing from the Alfa Romeo team at the moment. So all the way down from the back of the grid to now the podium position. So very, very well done from the Alfa Romeo team. But however, that doesn't excuse Timo trying to chase them on the faster commodity tires in the Ferrari. So the Ferrari, the more superior, I guess you'd say, Italian team, as most majority of individuals view it, are currently chasing both the Alfa Romeos down. So we might see that into a little controversy, as RR, some idiot in the Racing Point, has built up quite a bit of a gap to Wow, but Wow isn't currently in P6 on those hard compounded tires, and is currently chasing Kobe down in the Williams, who we did see had a little bit of a spin, but has now recovered to P5. So very well done from him. But Wow is closing in within the Williams, to the Williams in the Renault car, as some idiot finally pits. The leader of the race does pit. That's going to give both the Alfa Romeos a 1-2 at the moment with a Ferrari 3. So all the Ferrari engines currently pitting, as we have our Timo going onto the medium compounded tires, weirdly enough. So that's going to be a little bit risky, as we have a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that was must have been a slow car going, but currently at the moment we have Arsene Idiot going down to P8. Wow, the man on pole position is currently on P4 after his pit stop. A little bit of lock up there into turn 2 and now going to turn 3. Managed to get past Kopi in the Williams, and is now hunting all the leaders down for their podium position, which is going to be a little bit of a scare for Danny Coe in the, and as well as Hugo's in the Renault. So that's going to be a bit of a scare for both of them. But currently at the moment they are P1 and 2, with Timo in the Ferrari being P3 at the moment on the medium tires. So we're seeing a lot of medium tires playing a little bit of a risky move, especially RS Midi, to potentially could manage those tires, but we will wait and see, as we see Timo having a little bit of a lockup, a little bit of a spaced up lockup, so he must have broken and then fixed it, must have broken then fixed it, but he does get DRS, and so does Timo, and so does Hugo on his teammate currently at the moment, as he is reading it. I don't think both the Alfa Romeos do really want to race there in a very, very high points paying position right here, and they really, really don't want to lose it, as Hugo's currently at the moment is in P2, and Timo in the Ferrari is in P3. So all the Ferrari powered engines are currently in the podium positions, as we have Wow 125 in the Renault in the hard compounded tires, currently on lap 12 of the Grand Prix, has gone all the way up from P8 to now P4, as RSM Idiot is also replicating that, but is currently being chased by Alex Burbo in the Red Bull. So we both have, I think, some idiot in the first set of tires, but Alex Verbo is trying to chase him and reclaiming that P6 or P6 or P7 rather would be best of the rest, as we have both the Mercedes, both the Ferraris, and both the Red Bulls, and then P7 is best of the rest. And currently that's being held by Alex Burbo, but he does want to be one of the two Red Bulls in the best of the rest category, as we see Danico in the Alfa Romeo currently being chased by his teammate. Will we see a Verstappen? Will we see a Verstappen and Ricardo? Will we see an Ocon and Perez potentially ensue? We will wait and have to see, as I think they're just trying to just getting the arrested for the extra speed, and just potentially even swapping the lead when their tires are worn. So it's very good racing from the teammates, not looking to overtake each other. But what does that mean for Hugo's tires? Will he deliberately have to brake earlier than Danico, as to not have his tires be extremely worn, or us not go into the back of him, or us to not overtake him. We will wait and see as we have Wow 125 currently in the run. He's flying at the moment. He's built up quite a back to Kopi, who is in the Williams, who's just been overtaken at the moment. But as we're seeing, Wow 125 is trying to gain the podium positions or even the lead of the race. It's only a matter of time until Hugo's and Denico pit, but for how long will they stay out is the big question at the moment. Currently, we see a little bit of a train with Triton at the moment, so if we just go on board with him right now, we're seeing a little bit of a train between Triton and we're also seeing that Bant in P10, last points playing position, and Terror in the AlphaTauri, the man who did get P3 from that Bant, is currently up into P9, so fared a lot better than a lot of the individuals. However, we're going to see some mass overtaking, as we see, I think, a lot of the Alfa Romeos at the moment trying to make a little bit of a train with the Ferrari, and it's going to be extremely, extremely interesting to see what happens with this last week. They were very, very close into turns 1, 2, and 3, and is currently going through turns 4 and 5 at the moment. So extremely interesting to see if both the teammates do try to overtake each other, or is Hugo's deliberately trying to hold up Timo at the moment, which might be something that the stewards might have to look into. But regardless, we see Danico going wider than usual, trying to take up that little bit of grass. But wow, 125, not to be out of contention here, is currently catching up with Timo. Has about a 3-second gap at the moment between the Ferrari and the Renault, and there is a yellow flag. And who's that gone spin off? That's one of the McLarens, and that's Dat Bant, the man who was in P3 and was in contention for a podium, has now gone off spinning and spinning away. As we see another yellow flag, and that's one of the Mercedes, and that's Noel. Noel in the Mercedes on the medium competitive tires has also gone off. It's really, really unfortunate for Noel, but luckily enough for wing damage, as Alex Burbo currently pits at the moment. So on those worn medium tires, but is currently now pitting, and hopefully will score some good points for today from Red Bull, as we saw his teammate get out of the race. But currently at the moment, as it stands, we're about 20 laps left within this Grand Prix, and what an action-packed Grand Prix it has been. We've seen spins nearly almost every lap, and the drivers who have kept it cool here, Hungary, who have kept it clean, are the ones that will definitely be one of the top ones. This is tier 1. This is the pinnacle of the tiers at the moment, as we see RR Some Idiot and Wow 125. They've caught up to the pack at the moment, or trying to catch up to the pack. But we might even see potentially RR Some Idiot potentially overtake WoW in P4. We will see how that happens, but currently as it stands, the main battle right now is between Timo and Hugo's in the Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. So the junior team, as it stands, or as it's seen, is currently getting ahead of the main team, which is what we've seen currently in real life Formula 1, as we could potentially even refer to Spa of this year, and where the Alfa Romeos were ahead of the Ferraris, with Denico getting quite a good exit and trying to not get overtaken by his teammate. As Hugo goes a little bit late on DRS, we're seeing a lot of pits, so mainly Kopi and Higgsy in both the Racing Point and the Williams, pitting from those mediums to the hard tires at the moment, since tire wear is pretty high here, and I don't know what that's gonna mean for RS Idiot on the fast competitive tires. Sure, but how long will those mediums last? I think he has done goofs, may even go for a two-stripe strategy from those mediums to the soft compounded tires back again. But we're seeing a little bit of tension from the Alfa Romeo drivers currently going at each other, but also trying to maintain that 1-2 lead. Timo in P3 trying to catch up, or even trying to maintain his podium position from WoW, as there is about a second gap between the Renault and the Ferrari at the moment, as Nico has retired from the session, and if that is one of the Renault that's gone off as we're on board with TSRL Null, we can see what happened. And was that a retirement within the box? Yes, that is a retirement in the box. Must be a mechanical issue for Nico. Very unfortunate for the Renault team, but WoW 125 currently is faring a bit better, as we see Hugo's currently he is trying to not attack his teammate, but is getting DRS to get that extra bit of speed as wow, 125 rather, gets into the top 3 positions along with Arsimidi, who's looking to do the same as Timo in the Ferrari. Finally does pit and goes onto the hard compounded tire, so that's going to keep him until the end of the race. See, if he pitted for mediums now, it would sort of make sense, but pitting for mediums that early, that's going to be a real task that our some idiot has on his hands. As we see, one of the runners I think has just plain retired at the race, so gone from in the box out of the box to retire into the race, potentially even wave to some fans within this aspect. But really unfortunate for the runner team. We've seen two retirements. So we started with 17 drivers, now we're up to 15 drivers within this race, but all racing very cleanly and no major crashes and no safety cars at the moment. So looking quite good as we're about halfway through this race at the moment, and currently it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 with Wow trying to regain his lead in the Renault, but we see one of the Alfa Romeos pit, and that is Hugo's in the Alfa Romeo. So he's currently in P2. I don't know how he's going to make up those positions, but what is he going to be for? The hards to the mediums or the hards to the soft? I thought those hards were going to last, but clearly not. Much just had some lockup, and that is the hard to the medium compounded tire, and perfect pit stop from the Alfa Romeo crew puts RR8 and WoW, so two contentions for the run of the race, currently in P2 and P3, and I mean Danico is going to have some serious defending to do, especially with Noel approaching. He's being trafficked at the moment, so he's going to have to slow down at some point, but he's driving quite well and probably going to make those tires last a lot longer as his teammate Hugo's only fares P6, so a lot better than the leaders got it, but is going to be most likely crawling up on those fresher set of soft tires at the moment, rather fresher set of medium tires at the moment. So very well done from him, as he is tracing Triton in the Ferrari on those worn hard tires. But even though the hard tire is the slower compound, we potentially see Hugo's, or rather Triton being able to push on it more than Hugo's, and it's really about raw pace as opposed to tire compound at the moment. But the tire compound does play a lot into this, as we have Danico, finally the leader of this race, is currently pitting at the moment. And what is he going to be pitting for? Is going to be pitting for the medium, so both the Alfa Romeos from the hard to the medium tires, very well executed, and keeps P3. But for how much longer? Not much longer, as Terror does go into P3. So the Alpha overtakes the Alpha, and that leaves both the Alfa Romeo teammates in P4 and P5, actually overtaken by his teammate. And Triton is overtaken by Danica. So the Alfa Romeo in P4, P5, which is pretty good, and especially on the fresher tires, considering they were last place. They were both on the last places, and they just used their invalidation of the laps. But currently looking very, very good as we're looking at the Alfa Romeo at the moment. We currently have Terror in the Alpha Tower. He's in P3 looking to get the Alpha Tower on the podium. But for how much longer can he defend from Hugo's and Danico just carrying off of turn 7 and 8 currently at the moment? We got RR, some idiot, in the racing point. So pretty much we're back where it started, except we had one of the McLaren that Bance, who's currently in P10 in P3, as where DRS is currently enabled at the moment, and RS Media is gaining. He's gaining really, really fast on one of the Renaults at the moment. And is he going to make a move down the inside? No, he is not. But big lockup for WoW, and potentially we can see a move made out here. But RS Media has to be very, very fast. But I don't know how long those mediums are going to last behind the Renault driver. Did he just pick the wrong decision because he's going to have to really, really conserve that? Or is he relying on WoW 125's penalty, his 5-second penalty, to potentially win him the race? We will see, and we will see, as we currently have a Terra in P3 trying to defend it from both the Alfa Romeo drivers at the moment. So it's going to be very interesting. So the Alpha on the Alpha on the Alpha, I guess you could say, trying to defend that. We currently have both the Ferraris, so Triton and Timo, in P6, P7, and considering a lot of people did crash out, didn't validate within the last couple of laps, it is looking very, very good for the Ferrari power engines today, and especially all the Italian teams who are getting a handful of points this, as Pixel in the Mercedes is in P8, followed by the Haas of Nicholas in P9. TSR that Bats, the man who spun, is in P10, just behind Noel, who is currently getting blue flags at the moment. Copy in the Williams, who did spin again and was overtaken, is currently in P11 on the fresher set of hard tires. In P12, that is Higgsy in the Racing Point, faring a lot, not really a lot better, but steering faring a lot better than he is. He's just pitted onto the hard tires and looking to make up some positions. We have Tipsy Bob in the McLaren, who is P13. Alex Burbo in P14. As we have a little bit of a position exchange between Hugo's and Danico, most likely to potentially gain the lead, as we have Terror, who's being overtaken from both the Alfa Romeos, and is currently has Hugo's in P3 with Danico in P4. So considering they were last place or bottom of the pack, to get up to P3 and P4 is pretty astounding at the moment. But penalties do make all the difference, especially here at Hungary, as we've got about, I would say, yeah, so about 10, yeah, 14 laps to go within this race. And currently we're seeing some idiot and Wow battle it out for the lead. So the Racing Point and the Renaults, we're seeing a lot of name abbreviations currently really battling, I guess you could say, as we have Arsimide going down into turn 1. Is he going to make a move? No, he is not. But Arsimide does get a lot better exit than Wow. A little bit of snap of oversteer, but that's okay. As Wow and the Renault does try to defend his position, and it's really going to mean something interesting for Arsimide for the Racing Point, as he's on those medium tires as opposed to the hard tires, where he can really push him with it out. As Pixel in the Mercedes finally makes his pit stop, goes up from the medium tires to the medium tires. He's got to change his compound at least once, so he might potentially be disqualified unless he doesn't come in for another pit stop. That's going to be a very interesting side note from the Mercedes driver, but however, Mercedes aren't doing so different, so they might potentially just want to go for the fastest lap possession, or potentially just even finish the race, even if they are disqualified, as they're both in P14 and P15 at the moment. It's a very poor outing from the Mercedes team, but some more really good outings especially from the Alfa Romeo team and the Ferrari team at the moment. So both the Italian teams, well, two of the three Italian teams in Formula One, are doing very, very well. But currently we're seeing both the Renaults and the Racing Point currently battling it out in turn 1, as we see Arsimide gaining. He's going to make a move down the inside of turn 1. No, he's not. But however, there is another DRS zone right here, so he's very, very close to Wow. It's a snap of oversteer, but what was probably his best chance to make a move down there. But Wow had the inside line, is locking up quite a bit on those hard tires. He does have a lot more room to spare, or for wear, I guess you could say. But currently at the moment, we don't know, as Arsimide is on the faster and fresher set of tires at the moment, as we see a little bit of a battle going on, insinuating between the McLaren and the Williams at the moment, currently going through the turns 2 and 3. However, Wow and some idiot are currently battling it out for the lead of this race, and it's really intense, and this is as high as league racing can really go at this point, as Hugo's and Danico both the Alfa Romeos trying to maintain position from the Alpha Tauri at the moment. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what happens. Both the Ferraris in P5 and P6. So all the Italian teams from P3 to P7 at the moment, which is very, very good to see. Long live Italy, as we have some idiots going down the inside of Wow. Does he make the move? Yes, he tries to. He has superior grip, but he does not make the move down the inside, as Wow did hold the outside line and was on the throttle a lot earlier than Arsimide, but is going to get especially now worried, as Arsimide has attempted that 2 laps in a row now, and is currently doing quite well down the main straight. So we might even potentially see him getting closer, as he's trying to conserve all of his ERs, all of his tires, and get into the race lead, as there are about 11 laps left within the race, and we can see what happens. And currently, as it stands, we have Hugo's and Danico in P4 and P5. So very well done from the Alfa Romeo team. We have both the Ferraris in P6 and P7. So very well done from the Ferrari team. But the McLarens of that band moving up all the way down from P14 up to P8 at the moment. So at least 8 points position, unlike his teammate Tipsy Bob, who's currently in P13 on the faster set of tires, but is not able to make up places. Alex is as he's trying to catch Alex Burbo in the McLaren, but currently that Bant is being chased by Nick Olas in the Haas, who's driving quite hard on those those hard competitors. We shall see what happens as we have both the Ferraris trying to overtake each other. We might even see a Brazil between Leclerc and Vettel potentially happening. But as we're seeing Danico and Hugo's kind of battling it out for P3. And then we're seeing RR, some idiot, trying to battle it out for the win as WoW is trying to defend it for the win in the Renault Works team. But 10 laps to go within this race. Tensions are starting to heat up. I can imagine that the driver's wheels or game pads or whatever they're using are starting to sweat as we have one of the Mercedes, and that's Noel in the Mercedes. He's currently in P15. This race cannot get any worse for him. He's currently a minute down and it's just spun. I think that was it's really unfortunate from the racing point driver, but tire temperatures do get quite warm. As that's another spin. That's Higgsy. Higgsy in the racing point is not faring as well as his teammate, and that is potentially wing damage. He's facing the opposite way of the track. That's really, really unfortunate from Higgsy at the moment. I'm looking at broadcast cameras right now to determine if there is wing damage, but that's a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2 at the moment, and yeah, it's really unfortunate for the racing point driver. There is currently no wing damage, but that's a big, big spin if it meant that he had to go the opposite way around. But currently his teammate RS is faring a lot better in P2 at the moment, as he's trying to make a move down the outside. Now it goes down the inside line and goes down the main racing line and tries to take up all the cover possible. We're going to get that back to you in a bit. But we're looking at both the R teams, both the Alfa Romeos and both the Ferraris currently bunched up together as teammates, but some teammates are faring a lot better than others at the moment. But it's good to see. Some people will walk away with a decent pile of points here, but some will not. So that's very, very fortunate and unfortunate to see. But currently, some rather clean racing, only a couple of spins due to the tire temperature, as we're potentially seeing some idiots maybe even get a little bit of wing damage, as there's a yellow flag sector 3, and that's his teammate Higgsy, who has retired from the race and left the session, so not really happy with that spin, and his tires must have been warming up. Luckily, he has retired in the box, rather, as I was saying this, he has exited out of the box. It's a yellow flag for Sector 1. That means that RS Immediate cannot overtake Higgs. Oh, wow. But as he is trying to do so at the moment, so RS Immediate does get the inside line, does get the lead of the race, only temporarily, as WoW gets some excellent defending and gets on the throttle earlier, but however RS Immediate does have to back up for that. He cannot overtake within that, but that's the yellow flag Sector 1, which means both the Alfa Romeos will have to slow down as we see the racing point park off to the side. But currently, as it stands, RS Media is getting really, really close to the race lead. Could we potentially see some contact even for the race lead? We don't know yet, but it's very interesting to see what happens within this race. Currently, as it stands, WoW is trying to defend it, and there's a gap about trying to defend the lead, as is a yellow flag 63, and that's Noel. Noel in the Mercedes has had another spin, and that is his front end plate gone. That's his right end plate gone. He's currently in P15, or rather trying to get up Higgsy's position in P14, and he's got to go pit for a new front wing. This race has gone bad to worse from the Mercedes team. Really, really, really unfortunate, but he has retired from the session. Really unfortunate from Noel, and I can see why, as a lot of retirements in the last couple of laps, especially since things are heating up at the moment, and not even literally within the race and within their tires, as Arsene Idiot does try to go down the inside a while, but has failed. But as we currently have only about 13 runners left within this session at the moment, so very, very interesting to see what happens as WoW 125 in the Renault is currently defending very well. But how long will those mediums last? Will they last another couple of laps? Will they last another 7 laps? We are yet to tell. Those hards will last another 7 laps, or rather, will they? Because we routinely have seen a lot of individuals pit for hards, especially both the Alfa Romeos pitted for hards on laps 16 and like the 17 lap year old hards. But they are meant to be the most durable tires. So we will see what happens within this aspect. Currently, RR Idiot is in P2 at the moment, trying to get that Renault, but also trying to maintain that 1 second within that DRS range as we're going down the main straight at the moment. Not the main straight at the moment, but preparing to go down the main straight at the moment. As we see, wow, routinely defend from the DRS, and we see RS routinely get DRS, but he's going to use DRS and he's going to use his ERS as well, or try to use his ERS as well. He's grilling, he's gaining, but he's not worth it as WoW is maintaining a little bit of a gap. But we see RS go wide a little bit and try to get on the brakes as late as possible. A little bit of a lockup there, but I don't know how long those tires will last. WoW and as well as RS Idiot are both locking up at the moment. That's really unfortunate, especially for the tires. Not wow, it's not really to worry. However, we see RS Idiot potentially being the one to worry as he's on those medium tires and is trying to brake as late as possible. We're seeing a little bit of Ferrari drama between Timo in the Ferrari, so he's currently being chased by his teammate for P5 and P6. So a decent point of points haul for the Scuderia. But how long will this happen? How long will this last before they make contact? There's about 6 laps left within this race, and it's going to be extremely interesting to see what happens. Currently, if we go back on board with the WoW 125 in the Renault, we're going to see RS Idiot potentially even pull a dive bomb as there's about 6 laps in the race. The race opportunity is slipping. However, it is only a little bit of time that he has to really stay within, as RS Idiot only has to stay within 5 seconds of WoW to get the race lead, provided he doesn't have any penalties as well, as he is looking to go down the inside, but realizes a dive bomb is not really worth it. But currently at the moment we have Arsenal Idiots trying to get DRS, but is getting DRS every time, but WoW is just that much faster, so it could potentially even be a setup change, or maybe just pure skill. But we have Arsenal Idiot potentially seen them getting close on a couple of occasions, as we are 5 laps left within this race at the moment, and we're gonna see what is happening as there's a battle for the lead, there's a battle for best of rest, there's a battle for midfield points and whatnot. But currently best of rest is being held by Triton in the Ferrari, so as you would like to get into P3 and P4, currently being held by the Alfa Romeos. I don't think it's going to happen unless there's going to be a major crash. Checking back on Terror in the Alpha Tower. He's driven a fine race, potentially even attack for a podium. He's going P5. That Bance, who's currently in P8 and chasing down both the Ferraris and trying to be best the rest, or even P6 from his big spin. If down to P13 is currently in P8. It's very well driving for him. Kopi in P9. A little bit of a spin from him, but it was okay. In the Williams car is in P9. Alex Burbo in P10. In the Red Bull P11 is Nico Less in the Haas. P12 is Pixel Mercedes, the one remaining Mercedes, and P13 is Safety Bob, who is currently just being lapped at the moment in the McLaren. So a really disappointing day for McLaren, but hopefully we can see that Bance get some points, as we have Arsenal Idiot and WoW currently attacking each other really hard, really aggressively. We might even see a last lap position change as WoW is currently defending very well from Arsenal Idiot, but currently as it stands, we are seeing them really scrap it out, but not wheel to wheel. We have seen them go wheel to wheel on a couple of occasions, but this is the real main battle. But that might be even potentially inviting drivers Hugo's and Danico for those, as if we even see a crash or a spin from the both of them, we could potentially see the Alfa Romeos finish 1-2. So we will see when this aspect, as WoW 125 in the Renault does lock up and is currently on those 22-lap-year-old hards, or 22-lap-old hards, as RS Idiot is currently on the 19-lap-year-old old mediums. tires as he is trying to gain. He's trying to gain, but how long will those mediums last? I think those grips of the mediums are reducing and reducing by the second at the moment. The hards are still good, but for how much longer? We're seeing wow, a lock up as we're seeing him now lock up into turn 2 and 3 at the moment, and currently as it stands. We've got about 3 laps left in this race, and it's looking like everything is heating up. A lot of the groups are separated, but we're just looking at the leaders at the moment who are trying to mainly get everything sorted out. But currently as it stands, we're seeing that Bance trying to attack the Ferrari up into turn 2 and 3. A big lockup in the both of them, especially that Bance. That's going to kill his tires, especially on those 22 lap old medium tires, as opposed to, I would say, Timo's 14 lap old hard tires, where they're all on hard tires from P6 to P8, rather from P5. And that's another one gone, and that's Tipsy Bob, who is retired out in the box, and there was no reason for him to continue, as that's really unfortunate for the McLaren team. But we might even see Tab Bance trying to avenge the McLaren team, as you have Triton in P7 mode. That's a yellow one, sector 5. Is that going to mean that RS is not going to move to the move? He's not going to do the move regardless because he's not close enough. But we could potentially see that a penalty being taken place, as we started with 17 runners, now with 12 runners here at Hungary. We got about 2 laps to go within this race. It's going to be very, very intense. On board with WoW at the moment, doing some amazing defending from RS Immediate, and is currently just trying to maintain the lead of this race, but is also trying to build up a 5-second gap, as he does have a penalty, assuming for corner cutting within this race. But currently, as it stands, they're looking very, very competitive as they're going through sectors 2 and now 3, so turns 9, 10, and 11, going through turns 11 and 12 at the moment. Braking pretty hard for both of them, and going through Yubo at the moment. And it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see what happens, especially within the main straight, as Danico does get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But however, he is about 12 seconds away with that 3-second time penalty, as we have RS Idiot currently just going down the main straight. He's gaining, he's going to move down the inside. No, he is not. But wow, 125 currently maintaining the lead of the race, as about 1 lap to go within this race, so rather 2 laps to go within this race, as we're looking on board with both the leaders at the moment. We're not going to leave their perspective at the moment, and currently we're looking at WoW, who does have a 5-second penalty. So is it just him trying to defend for his life, or is it him potentially even giving Hugo in the Alfa Romeo a bump up? We might see, but a 5-second penalty is going to be interesting, as he might potentially win on track, but with penalties considered, he might lose out and potentially even be in P3. It's going to be extremely unfortunate for him, but as he's defending quite well and is currently winning on track, going to turns 13 and 14 at the, so turns 13 now, and going through turn 14 at the moment, and going through the start finish line, trying to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. Now we are some idiot who is not going to make a move down this lap, but is going to potentially even conserve his ERS in DRS, and potentially even make a dive bomb on this lap, trying to get the lead on track. But we might see what happens, as we have Tier that Bance gets a 3-second time penalty, and for multiple warnings due to either collision or potentially some track limits, as it's commonly seen with this track. But RS Media and WoW racing very, very well. Gonna go on board with WoW, looking at some brilliant defending from him at the moment, as fuel is getting lots lower, and those tires are getting increasingly worn at the moment. But we currently have Arsenal Idiot within the back mirrors, as that Bance does make a late move on Kopi, so that means that Kopi and that Bance currently battling for P8 and P9. But as we're on board with the leaders at the moment, going through turns 11 and 12, so our WoW 125 currently is defending extremely well, as he does make a big lockup with this, and trying not to lose it on the last lap. Big sweep, as Johnson Button liked, and currently going through turns P13, and now 14. And now the start-finish line at WOW 125 in the Renault. The man who was on pole wins in Hungary on track. RSM Idiot does win with the penalties. Hugo's moves up to the second, and WOW 125, the man who won on track, is currently P3 for Renault. Danico is going at the back of his teammate, is currently P4. SLR Tier, who did transfer podium, secures a nice haul of points for AlphaTauri, goes P5. SLR Team on the Ferrari goes P6 for the Scuderia, and Triton in the Ferrari also goes P7. As Kopi gets that P7 for the Williams, and so does Alex Barber gets the P8. SLR Triton nearly gets the last points paying position as Nicholas, who had that band to have that last paying points position, does overtake him to get P10. And that is your race for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And driver today is Hugo's, especially both the Alfa Romeo teammates have done extremely well to get from the back of the grid to the podium. As we watch the smiles and celebrations, we can see the well-deserved victory. Well done to the Racing Point, the the Alfa Romeo, and the Renault team. Truly a remarkable race and one to be remembered. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Shiv, signing off. Have a good one.